a story. I think I'll start with how I got started doing this, or how I came to recognize these behavioral changes in the horses as I'm doing body work. I was working as a groom on hunter jumpers on the show circuit on the East Coast and the Midwest, and I noticed that when other therapists, or when therapists would be working on the horses, or chiropractors or massage therapists would be working on the horses, that there were these subtle changes in behavior as the horses, they were doing the work, such as something maybe as subtle as the eye would blink or twitch, or the lips might twitch as they were doing really light work on the horse. And I noticed that meant something. The horse was doing that in response to what they were doing. And so I started experimenting with that and playing with it, and I came to realize that if you stay light enough with the horse, you can bypass the horse's natural survival bracing response. They survive by either fleeing or bracing or freezing, and they're in a certain state of that when they block out pain. And so if you can bypass that by staying light enough, that you can get the horse's nervous system to start releasing tension on its own. So that part of the horse's nervous system that braces and guards against pain, you get under that, and the other part of the horse's nervous system will kick in that releases tension and pain. And I came to learn later that that was the parasympathetic nervous system, is the part that heals and relaxes and releases pain, and the sympathetic is the survival response, the survival part of the nervous system that blocks out pain. And that's how horses survive in the wild. They just block out pain. So I recognized these changes in the horse, and I started experimenting with it, and it turned into this method of equine bodywork, where you can get the horse's body to release pain and tension. I remember there was one old horse chiropractor who the vets would bring in. He was from New Zealand. He'd been adjusting horses for 40 years, and he had learned from another old chiropractor in New Zealand who'd been doing it for 40 years. And he got amazing results. He used very long lever forceful techniques, but he got amazing results. But the thing that really got to me is his ability to read the horse. After he did an adjustment, he would step back to see what the horse had to say and give the horse a minute to respond. And if he got a good adjustment, the horse might drop its head, it might start to lick and chew, and then it would start to yawn repeatedly over and over. And I came to realize that this meant the horse had released a huge amount of tension, and this repeated yawning was a sign of that. And I think yawning, licking, and chewing, those are parasympathetic responses if you're looking at it from that point of view. I came to learn later. So I put these things together and developed a method of bodywork where we could get the horse to release tension on his own by staying under the bracing response, either with very light touch or with movement in a relaxed state. So gentle movement of certain areas of the horse in a relaxed state release tension in the muscles and the connective tissue of those junctions in the horse. The three key junctions that I learned affect the horse most are the pole atlas junction, where the head joins the neck shoulder withers junction, where the forelimbs and the neck join the trunk, and then the third is the hind end sacrolumbar sacroiliac junction, where the hind limbs join the trunk, and all the force transfer from the limbs into the body go through those two junctions, the neck shoulder withers and the hind end junction. But the most important junction is the pole and atlas junction. Anything going on in the body shows up as tension in the pole and atlas.